Hello everyone, and welcome back to DMG. A few videos ago, I talked about how you could actually exploit old Cinebench versions to move around the camera in a Cinema 4D project. But today, we are going to be going so much further. I have finally been able to open old Cinebench project files. I've extracted the .c4d project files, and I'm going to be opening them in Cinema 4D. This is a quest that I have been on for months, and last night I was up until 3 a.m. trying to get this working, and I actually squealed with excitement when I saw it. Now, you may be asking me, why didn't you just drag and drop it into your copy of Cinema 4D R23? And that's why. You can still convert it with any Cinema 4D version up to release 19. Now, I went on a hunt, a months-long hunt, for an old version, and I actually found a copy of release 11.5 and release 9, and I really wanted to use those, but I didn't have the license keys. So I finally settled for unfortunately I had to go for a cracked version, but Cinema 4D release 19, and let me show you what I can do. Now this is the Cinebench release 11 CPU rendering test. And as you can see, we can move it around. And we can basically run a Cinebench test if we really want to. But it won't give us the score, obviously. But if you're ever wondering what a Cinebench project looks like, this is it. We've got our light up here. We've actually got two lights. And I've already seen this one, so it's a little less cool to me than some of the other ones have. But here it is. I mean, if I really wanted to, I could change the textures on these objects. I could make Cinebench Purple Edition if I really wanted to. I'm so sorry. I don't know how to use this version of Cinema 4D. It's pretty different than release 23, which I'm used to. So I'm probably going to be completely clueless. There we go. Let's make purple Cinebench. Here we go. Cinebench, but it's purple. Okay. So, we even have the ray traced lighting on the floor. And then there goes my CPU fan. This is just incredible. Actually seeing this working after months of trying to get it so. Let me get it from an overhead perspective so I really see those floor reflections. Oh, it's just... This is so cool. It's probably a lot less cool if you're not a massive nerd like me, but I am a massive nerd, so of course it's cool. Let's load the architecture test from Cinebench 2000. Now this is the color one. Whoa. This is so cool. The shadows, I have never seen it look this good because this project is rendered in a stupidly low resolution on... I'm sorry, this is just incredible. So this is rendered in 320 by 240 in the Cinebench version that it's in. But if we drop it into Cinema 4D, let's see. We're going to do a quick 1080p viewport render here. And I'm going to go pull it up. I mean, look at this. Yeah, there we go. There are some jagged edges, on the pillars, because of course this is not meant to be seen in this resolution. But that's just... The fact that I can do this at all. There may have been other people that have done this, but I have not found evidence of it. Let's see. I want to see the perspective through the window. The tricky thing is the camera is tied to a specific point. So, I can't really freely move it as much as I would like to. Here we go. We'll render through this window. And of course, there's no lighting up there, so it won't look as nice. Ooh, daylight? What's this gonna be? It's called Low Detailed Man. Oh, that is hilarious. It's literally called Low Detailed Man. Oh, that is hilarious. So yeah, this is, oh, that's a lot smoother than the camera movement in the Cinebench version when I did the exploit. But yeah, here we are. Let's render it from the other angle. So this is from Cinebench 2003. That's not the angle you're supposed to be seeing it at. It's, I think the correct one is like somewhere down here. But that's the most useless walkway ever. It doesn't have doors. But these projects, these textures, are over 20 years old, and they still look pretty damn good. Like, this is just how good Cinema 4D is. It is a fantastic piece of software. Let's check out our... Oh, hello there. Oh, hello. What? Okay. Hello there, low-detailed man. Okay. Um... In the city, can we... No, we still can't. Okay. So, I think what I can do here is... if I create a new camera and have it use... Yeah, here we go. So, with this new camera, I can actually move it around, and we can get a different perspective here. Now, this is all untextured until now. Oh, there aren't default material presets? Oh, that's sad. Yeah, sorry, I am not used to this. Here, I'll make it luminous. How about that? Yeah, no, it does not like being rendered with fun colors. So, never mind there. Wait a minute, I'm gonna go back to the Cinema 4D, or sorry, Cinebench 2000 test. I'm gonna load in our architecture test. And no way. Let's start deleting the building. Okay, what happens if I render this? Whoa! It renders with the... the wireframe renders with textures. That is so cool. I never would have expected that. I'm sorry if my mic is peaking. Let me turn that down a bit. I'm just getting more excited than I usually do in videos because this is truly insane. Let's load our OpenGL test from... Alright, so it's using a plugin, so we might lose some stuff. But this is the OpenGL test from Cinema 4D Release 10. If I hit play, is it actually going to play the keyframes? It's going to play the keyframes. So this is the Cinebench Release 10 OpenGL test. What if I pause it here and... Wow. So... I think... If I recall correctly... Okay, so without the plugin, it's missing those textures. So it needs those textures to work properly. They're probably embedded somewhere else in Cinebench. But, I mean, the fact that it's playing the keyframes of the motion sequence is just... Wow. I'm truly lost for words. This is... I know I keep saying this, but this is something I've been wanting to do for months, and finally seeing it pan out. Let's do the... Okay, same plugin missing, but let's do the bike from Cinebench 10. It'll take a while to load in the textures, probably. Oh, yeah. So just sit tight while it loads those. And then we're going to be... Yeah, here we go. Then we're going to be able to move our camera around however we please. Actually, we can't. So let me create a studio camera, or just use the default camera. Here we go. That is not what I meant to click. Yeah, so we've got lights in the back and this wooden slope that's set to a pretty high reflectance, actually. Let's render it here. And that looks absolutely gorgeous. So the idea here is in Cinema 4D, I can render it at 10 times the resolution that Cinebench does. So I can actually pull super high quality images from these ancient Cinebench versions. I mean, look at this. It's gorgeous. I mean, just looking at that, I would not guess that that is a program that is older than I am rendering this. Like, that's amazing. This is amazing. Sorry, I have to get to class in like 20 minutes, but I'm gonna do all I can right now. Release 11, let's do some stuff from... Ooh! So Release 11 was the first Cinebench version to have the motion sequence with the cars. Now this is OpenGL based, so it'll take quite a while to load. It's all in German, that is interesting. Let me hit a render on this really quickly. It's missing a lot of textures. Okay, and it won't render properly with the CPU renderer, which makes sense because this is an OpenGL test. If I hit play... Okay, so it hasn't loaded the textures, but it's showing the motion. The camera motion is accurate, and it has that wireframe. We can actually see the lighting effects on the cars. We can see the individual light sources. Let's see. We're going to make a new material, and that's a nice color. Here it is. You are now that color. Isn't the car white in Cinebench 15? Yes, the car's white in Cinebench 15. So, let's have it glow. Let's see. I'll have it emit a little bit of light. Okay, so yeah, I have to wait a little while longer for it to load in all of the textures for it to play smoothly. Cinebench does that by default, but Cinema 4D is not that well optimized, since there's a lot more going on than Cinebench. So we see this random car here, you are blue now. Or I guess not. Wait, are these buildings, are they just textures? They're just flat walls. Can I... Okay, I can manipulate the camera. Wow. Yeah, they're just like flat walls with a building texture. Wow. Okay, that's cool. Now, what we can actually do is I've set the render settings. I noticed something interesting also. We've got our standard renderer, which is CPU, but we also have all of these other options. It has a ProRender plugin installed, which is interesting. We have Cineman, whatever that is, and we also have two OpenGL options. So I'm going to set it to hardware OpenGL, and I can't change the save settings on hardware OpenGL. So we're just going to go ahead and not save. And yes, I've done a test run of this, and after it finishes preparing, it should start spitting out this entire motion sequence as individual frames. Yep, here we go. So I could go through and I could save all of these frames, and they all look incredibly good just at 1080p. So I could very well render these at 4K. And they're rendering very fast in OpenGL compared to CPU rendering. So I could render all of these in 4, maybe 8K, save them as local files, and do a re-render of this whole animation to get it as good looking as it possibly can. Yeah, so it'll only save one at a time, which is a bit annoying because I can't have it automatically save no matter what renderer I'm using. Alright, I'm back wearing a different shirt because I'm filming this on a different day. I'm sorry, my schedule is really messed up now. and I have pretty much no free time to just sit down and film videos. But anyway, last night I did some renders of this bike, and I think they look absolutely gorgeous. I'm still trying to figure out which angle I like the most. Here's like the full render. The seat is a little bit too dark in that one. I gotta adjust the lighting. But this is 8K versus the original 800 by 600. And just the difference in detail is amazing. Look how much clearer the text is in my re-render. I mean, it is just gorgeous. But we did some of the car chase scene from Cinebench R11.5, I believe. Let's talk about the car chase from Cinebench R15 now. Now, this one is really laggy when you play it because Cinema 4D isn't super well optimized, and I don't have the correct OpenGL plugins. So, like, camera movement makes it lag quite a lot. But yeah, this is a slightly different scene, and it does look very good, admittedly. Let me just pause it for a bit and let it load in the frames. Oh, never mind, here we go. So, I'll wait for the car to pull out onto the street, and then I have something fun to show you. So, I went on the site of the guy who made all of these animations for Maxon, and it looks like he's using these same building models in like his current work. So this were rather current. This one's from 2020. I don't want to play too much of this because of copyright, but like, tell me there is not a similarity here. I don't know. I just thought that was kind of cool, and I didn't want to bring that up. But anyway, it's going to do another camera angle change right here. That is why it's half a frame per second. But, oh yeah. Then here comes the blue car. Now, they removed the light from the top of the blue car in this one, and, of course, the car is white instead of red. They also added license plates, so they did change this in Cinebench 15. Also, this is release 23. Whoops, that is not what I meant to move. This is Cinema 4D release 23, as you can see up there. This project is new enough to open in it. But yeah, it cannot process the camera angle changes in real time. Please subscribe so I can buy a Quadro. But even at this lower frame rate, it's still such a fantastic animation. This is when the car explodes, I think. And I'm interested in how he did the explosion. Like, because you never actually see the car explode. It just goes off screen, and it's implied that it does explode. But because there's like a flash and then tires rolling, but there's no actual, like, the car is never seen going boom. No, it's in a few more seconds. So I wonder if I can move the camera to see what actually happens to it. Does it just despawn, or do parts of it actually come off? I'm sorry that it is playing so slowly. Again, I don't have the correct OpenGL plugins that were used to create this project, so it's not going to run like it should. It's not even like being resource heavy. Oh yeah, this is when the car goes boom. So it goes off screen and then it explodes. Okay, so it creates light sources for the explosion, and the car just disappears. Okay, so when the car explodes, it creates this light source. They're the pieces of the car that come off, I suppose. Can I, like, back it up a few frames? Okay, so the car comes around this corner. Those pieces were already there. Oh, and they start rolling, I guess, when the... Yeah, that's so cool! They just start rolling when this car comes around the corner. They were already there. So they didn't come off of the other car or anything. just because this is rendered in 4:3 typically, so we could do a 16:9 render right now, and yeah, it's so cool to see these familiar scenes, but more of them. Uh, Again, I don't know if anyone has done this before, if anyone has put these projects into Cinema 4D and checked them out. Probably so, but wow. Sorry again that it's so laggy. There are just so many light sources. Cinema 4D isn't well optimized, and I don't have the newest workstation, so it will be a little bit slow. But it looks like our city is bigger than it is in Release 11. That's pretty cool. There's honestly not much more I can do. I've just gone through and done some renders from every version, checked them out. But I really think that's fantastic. If I can clean up the color on the seat a little bit in this one, then I think that would be like the best render that I've done. But that is going to wrap it up for this video. Thank you everyone so much for watching. If you have anything else you want me to do with these projects, please let me know down in the comments. Might do a special midweek video just covering some of those. Might do a next video covering some of those. But that is it for this one. Thank you everyone for watching, and see you next time.